How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Frostbite Gaming channel and the Looking Glass podcast, your source for anything and everything Grand Archive. I'm here with your usual suspects, Dalton and Cory. And we got a lot of news to talk about. We got some good news, some bad news, some weird news, some other stuff. So let's get right into it. We're going to do a little housekeeping real quick here. If you guys haven't noticed, or maybe you have taken notice, we've gone through a little bit of a rebrand as far as like the way things look. So I would appreciate any kind of input if you want to leave it in the comments or whatever about how everything looks and what you think about the new design of things. Your feedback is important to us. So getting into Ascent London. One of you guys want to start off?
For me, I was most excited about. I'm actually going to be honest. True Champ Caven piloting Fractals to 6th place.
Yeah, it was pretty cool seeing Fractals come back around.
Yeah, I like the Fire Slime deck that was doing pretty good day one. Unfortunately, they got their day two wasn't very good. I'm the odd one out of all of us. I like seeing the Genbu player going undefeated. That was interesting, considering that everyone was saying Genbu dead, Graveyard Hate too strong.
No, that's a factual opinion there. Everyone did say I'm guilty of saying it myself. So it was definitely a good meta call. A lot of people were not playing Lanterns. I know Censors were around, but like I don't think Genbu has too much of an issue dealing with Censor.
No, they usually. I think whenever it came up, it just got fracturized.
Mm-hmm. So
I also like the CL deck that they were playing, the Beguiling Coup, but they weren't playing Oblation or anything else in it. It was just,
oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, but Beguiling CL is pretty cool. Like I honestly think like that's the way to go. Like Ablation's nice and all, but I really think that Beguiling Coup is the way to play CL.
Well, it's just easily shut down because of Orb of Sealing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, I think the Beguiling Coup version is really strong. So, personally, I was excited, and honestly, I feel like the true winner of Ascent London is DJ Nova on Fire Diana. I was rooting for him the entire way through, and unfortunately, he lost in top 4.
Who did he play? Was it Genbu or?
I think he got paired up against the Genbu, yeah, and I think the Water got paired up against Seiryu.
Oh yeah.
And if he got 4th place according to what I'm looking at here, so apparently that means he lost to the Water Diana as well.
Yeah, that was a good match between the Genbu. Like that was neck and neck. That was a pretty good match. So unfortunately, the longer you go up against Genbu, the worse off you are.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Genbu list right now. It doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary for Genbu. It looks like your standard Genbu list, nothing special there. Aside from the fact that there's one copy of Excalibur Cleansing Light in the main board, and there's 2 more in the side.
And an Orb of Sealing too.
Well, Orb of Sealing is for in case you see Ablation, but no, Excalibur is a weird one. Like that's one I have not seen yet. So I think that's an interesting tech, especially since you can go up to Luxem, and it just gives you an outright it just outright destroys anything.
Were they playing Tabula before?
Yeah, Tabula has always been played in Genbu because you can mill yourself down to like nothing, and then Tabula put cards back, and then you don't deck out.
Alright, gotcha.
Yeah, it's a combo with the Penguin Fractal.
I just couldn't remember if they were playing that or not before. I'm having a brain fart on it.
Like sometimes, like I looked away from the screen for a second. Next thing I know, the opponent was dead. So like I didn't really know what was going on sometimes.
Yeah,
But
Genbu has I think it's 3 different ways to kill you. They can kill you with stratagem. They can kill you by milling you out, and then they can kill you by swapping Genbu's attack and defense and like unga him with fugue.
Yeah, it's like the most one of the most versatile decks out there right now.
Yeah, it's got a lot of ways to do things. So
one time I played against Gembu, I got smacked with the reverse.
yeah.
I was like, wait, Gembu can do that, and he's like, yeah. I was like, oh shit.
And I don't even know why I'm looking at the Seiryu deck. It's your standard Seiryu deck.
Oh no, that one was different. Like it was more control based from what I've seen. Like it didn't turbo.
It is
Like it
on.
wasn't.
So yeah, I guess it doesn't play a turbo.
They
It is
they
on Looking
specifically said it was
Glass.
not turbo Seiryu. Like it was one they were cooking for a bit.
Yeah, it's on Looking Glass, abusing the unmake duality thing. Um, this is more to like. Remember when I was talking to you, Cory, about old Seiryu? This is more akin to old Seiryu.
Okay.
This is what Seiryu looked like, sort of in the beginning, with the only thing I don't see in here is the brisk wind trotters. Like that's the biggest difference that from the old version, because the old version used to play brisk wind trotters. They do have a little bit of a turbo package with displace and dungeon guides, but outside of that, it does look
Yeah.
akin to like what the old one did.
Yeah, they said it was more like an influence type series where like they didn't have to like rush to the dragon and they
Mm-hmm.
would kind of like build up influence and then kind of go in there.
Yeah.
Like it was a good it definitely put in work against Gembu for a while. There's a few times where I thought Siryu had it, but
Yeah.
Turtle stood strong.
Yeah. Caven's list is interesting. It definitely has a lot more. I guess there's a lot more to it than it used to be, because fractals used to be like you play like 20 some odd fractals and 4 burst asunder, 4 wave piece, and a bunch of damage stuff, and that was the end. Like he was also on 3 unmake duality and only played Looking Glass for the sake of getting rid of it, which has people
Yeah,
or which has weebs on the eyeing up on unmake duality. So yeah.
um,
Um,
I mean, I do know like seeing Candlelight Hourglass also being played this format is really interesting.
yeah, that is something that started popping up, is the hourglass. It's because it shuts off Sadie, and it shuts off it doesn't really shut off Gambu, it just makes them have to pay more.
What's the card?
The was it Candlelight
Candlelight Hourglass.
I don't think I've seen that.
It came out a
Yeah,
last
basically.
set. So it takes 2 turns to it takes 2 turns to come out or to charge up. It's a 1 cost regalia, comes out, draws you a card. It takes 2 turns after it's out there to charge up. It gets charge counters, and then when
That thing.
yeah,
Okay.
when it's on 2 charge counters, it taxes your opponent 2 more for activated abilities.
Huh.
So it's interesting. I definitely had my eye on the card, especially if suited got out of control, because that card just like laughs at suited.
Yeah, it does.
So, but other than that, I don't really think that it was once again a lot of safe picks.
Mhm.
A lot of the same stuff. I'm going down through the list here, and I see Philo, I see a bunch of Win Seryus, I see um Tristan's, I see there's some Xanders sprinkled in there. Horse and Taxes has made a resurgence. Which is interesting because I think let me check that real quick. I think they're playing something new in here. So they're on Looking Glass now with Inert Sword. Before they were just on the Impact Hammer. Everything else. Oh, they're on Lava Soul Tiger now. That was the card that I heard somebody mention about. They're on Lava Soul Tiger now, which is a
Well, yes, it's a free 5/5 basically for
yeah,
4.
it's a 5/5, and you're already like shooting up the ladder anyway. So yeah, it's just a beater at that point. That's comedy. Yep, everything else looks the same in the list though. Except for they are on 4 Unmake Duality.
Foreign make duality?
4 the well, you got to remember, so Horse and Taxes, they want to just shoot straight up the line. And when they get to that point, like you're already burning away most of your stuff, so like all you need to do is see, a copy of Unmake in order to use it, and the rest of them you don't care, it's just fodder.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, and then they're on Fire Cleric stuff, so they have access to Searing Rebuke and Fractal of Sparks, which is still a disgusting combo. And yep, still on 4 Red Hair, 4 copies of Dilu. All the same stuff for the most part, but still apparently a competitive strategy. So can't argue with results, I guess. Although I did hear that this was a smaller ascent.
Yeah, it's 179, I think it was.
It's like 179 or something. So, which is interesting because, like, you think people would want to go and tour London.
Well, apparently, from what I've been seeing, at least in like the chat on the live stream, was apparently some people were disappointed because like there's not a lot of EU players still.
Interesting.
So like, yeah, it's like I think C and the like North America are still like the biggest populace. Like I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but at least from like what the chat was saying, it's like they were disappointed that they didn't see a lot more EU players like at the ascent.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that'll change in the near future.
Yeah, I hope so too. Like there was one guy who was really sad about it. Like he tried getting it set up in his area, but it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah. Well, so I think that does it for Ascent London. Like I said, a lot of safe picks, a lot of the same. There were a couple that stood out from the crowd. Grats to the winner on Gembu and everything, proving everybody that Turtle is still out there and still a thing. Although I'm so sick and tired of seeing Guoja strategies. Like, can we just not?
Yeah, like that's fair. It's just like how will you the biggest discussion right now is like how would you actually hit it? Because like you don't want to like ban the Fate Stones outright.
That's a good topic for us to touch on here for a few minutes. I know we talked about it the other day, like just as like a quick commentary type thing. Personally, I you can't hit the Fate Stones themselves because they're part of that deck. Like you have to you can't hit the key part of the deck that like literally makes the deck function. You would have to I think you would have to print more interaction, because right now the biggest issue is that these Shenjus have Spell Shroud and there's only a handful of cards that can interact with them. Most of them are in the assassin category.
Someone did point it out, and they said that I think one of the things that makes Gembu Guoja so strong in general is that their win con is in the material deck.
Yes.
Like instead of having to dig for it, it's just always there, ready to grab whenever you need it.
Yeah, you
Or
just have to meet whatever little requirement you have to do, which like for Dragon that's nothing because we've already seen it. Like you just turbo up the line and Dragon's online. And then same with Genbu, just a couple turns of milling cards and you're on turtle. Suzaku doesn't take much to you just have to deal non-combat damage and the only poor Byakko he's the only one that has a really really shitty he's the only one that has an issue building up on quest counters because his is a suppress and his built-in effect is a hard once per turn, like not once per turn, it's a hard once and then you have to reset him in order to be able to use it again. It's not like Genbu who mills a card every turn or Suzaku who pings every turn or Seiryu who gets to banish a card, draw a card every turn. No, you have a built-in suppress on him that you can use one time and then after that, you have to suppress so many more times or add so many more quest counters to him through other means in order to get him off the ground. So, I know we got a lot of new suppress stuff in PTM. Byakko is honestly on my list of things to play around with some of these new cards. So, but I have a whole list of strategies and combos I really want to try out. So I'll get there eventually.
On a side note, though, I don't know if any of you guys realize this, but the amount of taunters and interceptors that people are playing at these like massive events has just been steadily declining over and over and over again in favor of like Crystallized Destiny or Veiling Breeze in comparison over just having a taunter or having an interceptor instead.
You know, that's interesting to me. It really is because that kind of makes Diana stronger.
Well, it also makes something that I find very very funny and comical, which is Assassin Mill, very very strong.
Yeah, you know, we do have all those Watermill Assassin cards and everything.
And you can use Grimstalker to have a steady income of just prep counters on your champion in water.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you should build it and try it out.
I already started building it as part of that $100 TCG promo. I ordered $100 worth of cards.
Well, you know, on the topic of mill strategies, our girl Nico got a Proxia card.
Yep.
Yeah, out of left field too. I don't think anyone was expecting Nico. I saw new Proxia Vault. I was like, "Ooh, I wonder what it is." And I'm like, Nico. I was like, "Fuck, I'll take it."
She got herself a nice pair of gloves. And it's a nice pair indeed. Like, it lets you play a banned card. So, I mean, that's good. But to boot, I think the better effect of it is it's pay 3 plus X. So if you have 5 on top of that 3, you put 5 down, you get 5 lash counters.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the more important part of the effect is that you can literally ramp those lash counters really high, really fast. And you want to talk about mill strategies. Nico's the queen of mill.
Yeah, she's the OG, I think, right?
Yep.
Like, I didn't really hear about mill strats until Nico. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we have a Nico profile up on our channel for the new Proxia card, so go check that out if you haven't already. Which I know it definitely popped off as soon as it went up. So it was definitely well received. But
yeah,
my question here is how is that going to is it going to shake up the meta at all? Like is Nico going to start making a resurgence and do something. Like that's realistically what I want to find out because um looking at her on paper and everything, she does kind of have a good foothold in the current meta, but I don't know. I mean, at the moment, with people lowering their cost of or lowering their amount of defenses, that's one thing that is in her favor. But the other thing is that like if somebody uses a card like Palver Sword or they try to banish your float and you're on like level 2 Nico, if level 2 Nico is out and sees that, you get a lash counter for every float that's removed.
Yeah, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
Which, hear me out and hear me right now. I'm going to tell you this: someone, at some big event, is going to sit there and play Wind Water Nico, and the whole reason being they're going to do that is because they're going to attempt to abuse Palvor Sword, just to be able to sit there and just go right off.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can keep suppressing Palver Sword, and it'll banish everything, go away. Everything will come back, and then you'll banish it again, and you'll just get a ridiculous amount of lash counters.
Yep.
The other thing that Nico has going for is she has access to Magebane Lash, which is her signature weapon, and she that card shuts off burn strats.
Yep.
So, and yeah, they can play a couple. So I know the teapot shuts off recovery, which is unfortunate for that. But
And a good old Fracture Eyes can't fix.
Nothing a good old Fracture Eyes can't handle, right?
Yep.
And I know Nico also plays Mustang and everything because you really don't want Sensor staying out on the board.
Yeah, Sensor hurts a bit.
Yep. So
does it take away the keyword? Or like
yes, it takes so everything in the discard pile does not have abilities.
So like if they censor then Palver Sword, then you're essentially gaining nothing then.
I'd have to check on that because I know there's a weird ruling because if Merlin eats a card with float under censor, I believe it still counts as a float.
Still counts as a float because it only checks if it's a float when it's banished.
Yeah. So I'd have to read Nico's actual wording and see if it lines up with Merlin. But if that's the case, then that's even more crazy. So, but like I said, this Proxy Vault card gives you access to a banned card, and it allows you to add a copy of Icebound Slam from out of play into your memory. So Icebound Slam's back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned to you guys earlier in the week, but I wonder if this is gonna be their new way of doing like these Proxy of Vault card. Well, actually, how many more banned cards are there that would fit a theme like a champ theme?
Like I don't think there's too many more aside from
Rye,
Baby Gray Slime, maybe.
Well, Baby Gray and was it Rye? Like, I guess isn't Rye's card?
Yeah, Rye. Ooh. That would be interesting. As long as they don't bring back fucking Sword of Avarice. Like, geez, like I do not want that card back. Crux don't need
is it just me, or are they just doing like, these one cards where like mantle and gloves and whatnot, basically it'd be like sort of like a selective backup charger in a way. Because like backup charger is you pay 3, you get to draw a card from top of deck to memory. Instead, you're generating a card from outside.
Yeah, no, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, that's a good way of.
They're both to pay 3.
That's a good way of looking at it because you are technically plussing a card at that point.
It's a selective backup charger is what it is at the end of the day.
Actually, you are absolutely correct. Like that is what those are. They are selective backup chargers. That is a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that terminology of things. But yeah,
selective backup charger.
So yeah, I guess we'll have to see what the future brings here. And if Nico will actually do anything.
Because like unfortunately, Alice doesn't seem like hers really did too much. But I think Nico does have more legs than Alice does right now. So um I think that like she might have a chance maybe, or it might actually give people a reason to play her again, because sometimes one card is all it needs to get people to start playing a
Cory,
deck again.
Cory had a bad run with Alice at locals this past weekend. We don't talk about it.
No, it's just a get hurt. It really gets hurt by censor. Like
Yeah, it does. I will 100% agree with you there.
like it completely screwed me over. Like, and now granted, like I'm not gonna say like Alice of a deck itself is fun. It's just like when you can't play the game and you can't
It
get
sucks.
like I couldn't do the things Alice did.
Well, to be fair, literally put the deck in your hands that day. So
Yeah.
I think
I started to figure out lines, and then when I went to go do them, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't do that because I can't bring cards back.
yep.
And I'm like, and then like I played you, but you just kind of incapped me 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
So
sorry
you
about
know,
that.
like blue's blue. I kind of expected that, but like, and then I got Dawn of Ash, which was kind of funny. And I maybe could have won a game if I didn't have that happen, because it messed up my numbers. Like everything that was 2 cost was a 3 cost, et cetera, et cetera. But and then I also got censored, and I couldn't dig out the answer to destroy censor. So yeah, that hurt. It's just like I think Alice is just too, like, especially now that like Gembu won an ascent, censor is back on the menu.
I mean,
So
Censor's been on the menu because, like,
yeah.
Water Diana needs it or needs the floating memory, and then anything that relies on those graveyard effects right now. So
It's just not a very good meta to do things in your graveyard. Like,
it's a rough meta at the point right now. So, which is why like I'm just kind of resorting to playing things that I want to test or want to have fun with. Um, on that note, I did bring so our community voted for it, and they will get what they voted for. They wanted Watercrux Merlin as the next deep dive, and these deep dives take a lot of work and a lot of effort out of me. So I hope you guys will enjoy it. It's almost done. I literally sat down and put my face to the grindstone basically, and knocked out all of the graphic work for it today. So I basically just have to get the deck to where I want it to be, sit down and record it. So, but graphic work takes a lot of time, especially with a video like that, which is probably why like I might only do like a deep dive like once a month or once every other month or something, because it takes a lot out of me. But as far as the Merlin deck goes itself, I did play that at locals, and it did play really well. Like I was very happy with where it's at right now. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the final list. I'd like to play it at least one more time. I'm thinking that if I play it on Tuesday with you guys when we do our Tuesday brawl, see how it plays then, and then I'll probably have it up the next week.
Well, also, do not forget that Gaming Giants Regional has officially changed.
Wait, it changed?
Correct. It is now scheduled for the 21st of March instead of the 21st of February.
Oh, okay. So now we have. Okay, interesting.
So our first regional in our area is the 28th, which gives us almost 4 weeks of play testing.
Okay. Well, that's welcome news, I guess. That means more time to test and less events that we have, because at that point we were going back to back from Virginia to Banish Zone. Like we had one a week, but they were a week in between each other.
Yeah, but now if I remember correctly, the 21st. So we're going from a Sunday to Final Turn Gaming to then that Saturday after to Gaming Giant then.
Okay, so now we have 2 weeks in March.
Well, it's basically 1 week in March. It's 6 days between the two events.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Okay. Well, good to know. Good to know. Well, the more you know. Anyway, I think that sums up current news and events. Aside from, I know the TCG player promo went live today for things.
Yeah, I ordered my stuff. Apparently, you'll know if you got a promo within 3 to 4 business days. Apparently,
Interesting.
so I'm hoping. I got home late today, so I wasn't able to place my order until like 4:30. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I got my promo. I bought 2 Hector CSRs. The 2 I was eyeing got sold, and the Gloomspire Market CSR sold.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It has not been a good week for Cory when it comes to guns. But I have 2 Hector CSRs though I had to like pay an extra 15. But
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you get your promo.
Yeah, if I don't, then that was for nothing.
I for one did not partake in any of that because, quite frankly, I don't care. But
well, I wanted to order them anyway, so that just
no, more power to you on that. I'm just saying, like, I
was really hoping to get that Gloomspire. I was like, oh, 2 birds with 1 stone. I was planning on getting it at the end of the month. I was like, well, fuck, shouldn't have waited, but I had to, funds and all that.
Well, since we're on the topic of you having a rough week, why don't you enlighten us, Cory, about the other thing that you had rough for GA this week?
Oh,
I know you're itching.
That stupid ass fucking lunar. Yeah. I'm gonna preface this first. I hate FOMO merch. So if there's one gripe I have with Grand Archive, it's how much FOMO merch they have. Like when they said, 2,000 units, I'm like, yeah, that's totally not going to get scalped to hell. And guess what happened? They got scalped to hell. But so expect to see those going for $500 on Merlin's Marketplace soon. But yeah, I was on the fence about getting it. I'm like, 160 ain't bad. And I was gonna plan. I was like, "Oh, hey!" I was like, "I can't." It's like I can't afford it right now, but I'll place my order later this week. They said there's going to be plenty in stock. Well, they sold out within 2 hours. Apparently, so much that it crashed poor Core TCG's website. And I guess there was like an issue where you couldn't input your address, but like you had to make an account with Core and then go through PayPal. And by the time people got through it, everything was gone. Apparently, surprisingly, everyone thought Arasana was going to go first. It was it was Lorraine and Tristan. Those are the first ones to go, and then Arasana, and then Rye was the only one left. And then when I went to go look at it before I went to sleep, I saw one of 2, and I thought, I guess you can only get 2 max. Apparently, that was the 2 that were left, and I was like, well, whatever happens, happens. Yeah, because like I kind of decided to look, and I hope they do a wave 2. I know we were talking earlier. You said they did do a wave 2 for.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, there was another wave of the last one that they did.
I think they should, like, they need to do better. Like, I don't think FOMO merch, because all it does is just breed scalpers.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just flip it for more money than, like, I don't like that mats are ascent locked. certain things are ascent locked, like you arguing, like you trying to make that guy not juice you for
Yeah,
the
for
one
the
that you want,
Alice deck box and
because all that does is breed people like valuing it far more than it's actually
mhm.
worth. Like just have a weeb store. Like
Well,
I
so
don't.
that's the funny thing is they did at one point, and
Mhm.
I don't know what happened or why that changed, but it did, and uh yeah, it's what it's become now. Is
And,
like you have to go to these events, and some of these events have specific playmats, specific things that other events don't have, which I hate because like let's say there's one going on in like Malaysia, like I'm not gonna go to Malaysia for a specific fucking playmat.
I'm like cards. I'm still not a big like the fluffy shopkeep promo. Like I think it's a cool concept, but like it would be a lot better if you could just mail the cards in and then them send you a fluffy shopkeep. So I think even Force of Will did that, where you would what was it? You would send in bulk, and then you would get a Cheshire cat.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a cool concept, and I thought that's what the fluffy shopkeep was going to be. Correct me if I'm wrong. Apparently, it's only at a cents that you
Yeah,
can
it's
trade
at a
it in.
cent, and you have to now there are ways to go about that. Like we have a really big locals with a lot of people that go to Ascents. Like if you talk to Corbin
Yeah,
or somebody and you were like, "Hey, if I give you my two what is it, A and B CSRs,
yeah,
could you redeem them for a fluffy shopkeep for me and bring it back to me?" And he'd have no problem doing it if he was going to that Ascent.
yeah. But
So
I'm more talking about for like a normal player,
no,
if
no, no,
like
and
that may
I
have
get
that.
that. I'm just saying like you know, if you have somebody who goes to these events or knows somebody, like that definitely does help. But I do agree, it kind of sucks that they're just at the ascent level. I can understand why they're at the ascent level though, because regionals and under, like Weebs isn't physically there for, whereas ascents they are. So like having a shop gather people's CSRs could lead to, issues.
And I guess to add even more salt in the wound for people who didn't get their stuff, they showed off the promos. And
I think the only good
the
one was Vermilion Decree, wasn't it?
Scout the Land was Tristan.
Oh,
Escape the
uh,
Wreckage too.
Yeah, Escape the Wreckage, Arisana, Scout the Land, Tristan. The only one that I think is not very good was
the
The
Lorraine one.
Lorraine one, I think.
Lorraine. But all the rest of them were like Escape the Wreckage. It's kind of funny for Arisana because I don't think Arisana plays that, but um, but like the Tristan one, like that one's gonna be
Yeah,
dummy
Scout the
expensive,
Land for Tristan is gonna be
and
nuts.
it's just like it just pissed people off even more. Like, and it was like I know it was probably a pre-planned tweet and message, but people were pissed, and like the
Well,
people that were
they
defending
even
them were
said so.
yeah,
Hold on, so during the holiday stream, they did say like they didn't want to tell what the promos were because they didn't want people to
yeah
buy the
that's
product for the promos. They wanted you to buy the product because you liked the character and you wanted all the stuff that came with it for the character. That was kind of the whole concept of it. Um, you know,
no I get that, but like only printing 2,000
yeah.
because
So
like
that's a whole different. That's a whole different like area. So like the numbers being printed, like that. That's kind of shitty, especially when you have like over what probably close to, if not over 20,000 something Omnidex numbers.
So
yeah
currently there is 25,000 players currently according to OmniDex. Okay, they printed 2,000, which means that they printed 8% of the total amount of players that there is currently in the game for the product.
And I'm not expecting them to print like 20,000 units because,
yeah
like they
not
probably won't
everyone's gonna
all,
want it, yeah,
yeah,
but
but
I,
at least
yeah
print like 10,000 or something. Make it like
yeah
a reasonable number.
Well,
like
10,000 would have been right around like 38, 39%. I could see them going up as high as 25%. but not up to that amount. So 25 would be roughly around double what they, or a little bit over double. So probably like 9,000 units
Because
roughly.
I think they printed even less for C. I could be wrong. Like I didn't the C chat and Merlin I don't think was as big as the North American. Apparently Canada wasn't supposed to be able to get it, but they last minute allowed Canadian players or addresses to get it,
Well,
which
I know
pissed
a
off
lot of
some.
them had issues because I remember because
Yeah,
we're
well, no,
part.
they had issues and some didn't even know. So imagine not knowing that you can order, so not even bothering just to find out later that your other Canadian friends were able to place an order. It was just a disaster all around.
Mm-hmm.
And like
And
I
you,
know the owner of Core did apologize for that. It was a last minute decision. Still doesn't negate the fact that people who could have gotten it didn't even have a chance to. And like I don't think that like there are people defending weebs and like but a lot of those people have those boxes. And it's like, well, I don't know why you guys are so mad. Like, well, you have a box. Fuck you. Like, it's just
no,
I think yeah.
yeah, I get the frustration. I really do. Um, and at the same time, like I really do hope that they usually weaves will see something like this, and I will give them credit on this part. And this is in no way me kissing their ass or anything. Um, usually when they see a problem, especially on this scale where there's a bunch of their community that is upset about things, they will usually do something, whether it be a wave 2 or like look what happened with RDO where they put Looking Glass and Lost Providence into RDO and everything. So
Yeah.
I I will say this much, the way things look right now um looks really bad. It does. It's not a good look to have. And I really hope that they do as they've done in the past and address the problem, with the same response they have to other things.
Well, from what I've researched is that the biggest thing they haven't changed is their FOMO merch.
Yeah.
Like it's the one like they normally fix, which FOMO merch I guess isn't a high priority, but it is something that helps player goodwill. Like a lot of players just are not happy with the way they do merch right now. Like I don't think people like that it's like they stopped doing the weeb store drops. Like
Yeah.
I personally like things. I get that they had issues doing to order mostly because I think it was in like another country, but like I think that's a better way of going about it because then you like if they really are worried about excess merch, which you could just always offload at an Ascent.
Mm-hmm.
I never really got that excuse, and I'm sorry it's an excuse. You can offload it at a discount. You can offer at a cents, but for like, hey, we have these at an Ascent, come to it.
I honestly,
But
I really think they should do like a merch website or something. I think it could really benefit their like just everything in general. Like you can still like I know a good bit, if not most of it, goes towards like the prizing and stuff, especially when you buy the supporter packs. All that revenue from that goes into like the prize pool for like future events. So
So here's the whole thing where it comes down to like if they were to go and just do a mass quantity, let's say print of let's say I don't know, let's say Rye the Lunar March Rye deck boxes, okay? Let's say they did a ton of them, they didn't sell online, okay? Especially if it's outside the United States, okay? They have to pay currently, right now, as of this moment, they have to pay 18% tariff on it, okay? So that means anything that comes in, you're charged an extra 18%. You have to declare what the value is and everything else when it comes down to imports. So they'd be spending a ton just to bring it all here to the United States. And then on top of that, whenever it's not a cent, wherever they don't sell, they have to have somewhere to store it. They have to
mhm.
then go sit there and pay transfer fees and transportation fees and everything else. So I understand why they're not doing massive printing of things. But I
Yeah.
do say they need to increase the amount that they are doing. Like instead of doing 8% of the current populace for the game, do 22 to 23% of the populace. Because then that would mean that there would be at least 1,000 units of every single champion at minimum. Because no, they said there was what 2,000 or what they say?
It was
I mean,
600
600.
Arizona, 600 Tristan, 600 Lorraine, and 400 Rye.
So if they were done
At least for North America. I think it was
say,
less for C, I think.
yeah. So let's say they did 2,000 for every single champion here in the United States. Okay, they would have came out roughly around. I think it would have been like 20% or so, which would have made everyone a lot happier in regards to it. And 9 times out of 10, because they were limiting purchases to 2 of each unit, I believe, or 2 of each one, I think it was what they were limiting it to. You limit it to 2 of each one, or even 2 per person in total.
I think
I'm
that
gonna
should have
bet
been
you
a
it'll sell
hard
out.
limit to 2 of like.
I think there was. I was gonna recheck Merlin's, but I think they got rid of the lunar channel. But from what I remember, there was a hard limit, but I think the website glitched and they were able to get more. I think some guy was able to buy 3. So
Yeah.
but I did misspoke. I didn't mean mass producing stuff. I meant like do it to order, like have a player put in an order and then they just produce it like they did the Christmas. I get that there was distribution problems with that, but I do think Core, if they would have done it through Core, it probably would have done a lot better.
Yeah,
In my
I think
opinion,
pre-orders are
like
a much better way to go.
I'm never been a fan of fear of missing out. I think it's a shitty business practice. Yes, it does make money. It does work. But to me, as personally, me, a consumer, and apparently a lot of others, and we may be the vocal minority. I could be very wrong, but it really did kill people's like hype of like doing more of these, because it just like they don't have a lot of faith that Weebs can fix this, because they've been jaded too much by them in the past. And I just
Go ahead, Corey. You finish what you're saying.
I was saying like I already like kind of felt the sting the first time I ordered merch from them went back when they were doing their website, because the few things that I wanted, the mats I wanted, the deck, like one of the deck boxes, by the time I even loaded into the website, they were all gone. So I was like, all right, I managed to get another deck box I was eyeing, and I got the Sylvie figure. But the things that I really wanted were all sold out within like 2 minutes. And it's just, it really does suck. And granted, I could have bought one of the Rye, possibly. Now, like, if I would have got trapped in that endless loop that people got trapped in, I possibly could have lost out on one of those Rye boxes. But like I really needed to wait until Friday. And I knew my gut was telling me that these were going to be sold out, but they kept reassuring me that there would be plenty, everyone would get one, which I don't know why they were saying that. It's just physically impossible. But like I was like, all right, well, I'll wait till Friday and pick one up. And they were sold out with it by like 1 a.m. EST.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, like this one is about as well as I thought it was when they announced it on the live stream. Because I knew this shit was going to be a disaster. And once again, I was right. But sorry, but what were we going to say, Dalton?
So if you have to say one thing, okay, in regards to it, what would you feel would be the thing that was the biggest thing that you missed out on? Would it be the promos, the storage box, or the deck box? Or the mat and tube and so on?
I'll be straight.
What would you say?
Hold on, let me take this real quick, because my answer is like real quick and simple. Like, I don't care about any of the other shit. I don't care about the promo. I don't care about none of that. That mat tube was clean, and that's the only thing I care about.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly like the promos. I always like having all art promos because I always miss out on the cool ones. Like personally, I like I loves weeb like I'm with Trav. The biggest seller, funnily enough, for me, was the mat tube. That shit was clean. But I did like everything else. Like besides the stickers and the standee, like I don't have any space for that. I can maybe find space, but I've never been much of a standee person. I do have a few figures and whatnot, and I used to have a lot of posters, but like I don't really have the space for all that now. But like I always like more storage space, and since I always miss out on really cool promos, like I would have been a big fan, and I guess I would have had some. Well, I've heard mixed things. Apparently, you won't get the promo. So like, I guess you could get a Rye box, and then you could get Tristan's promos.
Oh yeah, I did hear that there's a
So
chance that you
like,
can get a different promo.
which is kind of a weird decision. Like I don't really know how to feel about that personally. I guess now I would be mad. Like if I got the Tristan box and I got Escape the Wreckage, even though I think Arizona Escape the Wreckage probably will be a very expensive promo because it's Arizona. But
Yeah.
I guess I would be mad if I got Lorraine's personally.
TLDR,
So,
TLDR, just so we can like, unless Dalton has one more quick thing he wants to throw in on this, because we are running short on time.
so I was going to say, so what we could go and see Weeb's doing, just to appease everyone, is open up like a 2-day online sale and whatnot, and piece it out as like bundled. So like do a tube, like a mat and tube as one bundle, do promo and a deck box as another, and just do a storage thing on its own.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
We could 100% see them doing that, because then they would go and be able to print to quantity, and they would do it as a pre-order thing only.
TLDR, start selling the mat tubes, Weebs.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know you,
yeah.
and I know they watch the community content and everything, and I would like to think that with how we've been growing lately, that maybe there's some kind of an eye on our channel as well. So, from the horse's mouth, start mass producing the mat tubes. We want them.
Yeah.
So, but no, I really do hope that they follow suit like they have in the past and address this problem head on by releasing a second wave or bundles like Dalton suggested, or something like do something, because realistically that's 2,000 is such a minuscule number by comparison to the amount of players in this game. I know that was just for like US got 2,000 and then it got split up. Like I don't know what the total number was for
I want to say it's like
everywhere.
either 4,000 or 5,000.
2,200. It would be 2,200 if it was 6, 6, and 4. It'd be 22 units available in the US.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering is what was the grand total as a whole worldwide?
I think C got a little bit less, or maybe a little bit more. So it maybe it was like 4,400 or like 5,000 something. It wasn't a whole lot. Like it's
realistically though, like agreeing with Cory, pre-orders work. If you set it out far enough in advance and everything, get yourself a logical number of how many units to make, and call it done. Like we're used to this stuff. We pre-order games like 6 months before they're supposed to come out, and then they get delayed for another 6 months. Like we're used to this shit. So, and that's what it comes down to. Like if you want something that's gonna work better, you got to put on your big kid pants, and you have to just deal with waiting and have patience, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. So, but no, like I said, I really do hope that they do a second, at least a second wave of some kind. Um, and I really hope that it doesn't like like more like people who've already got one don't go in and scoop up more.
Yeah, from what I've heard, like I think a lot of scalpers got them, and like scalpers in the sense of like there's a lot. I've heard things like there's certain people in Merlin's who are notorious for overpricing their stuff, scalping it when they don't even plan on using it. So like we're probably going to be seeing a few.
Oh no, I bet. And you know what's funny about that is like they end up as those posts like I see all the time that just sit there and nobody buys anything from them. So let them waste their money and sit on all this product until they have to relinquish them at a much cheaper rate in order to even get some kind of a turn of profit. Not even a profit, like get some kind of their money back. So, and I know the biggest issue with the last one is like people just want one or two pieces of it. They don't want all the other stuff. And it's usually like the important stuff, like deck box, or deck box, play mat, and like as far as the last one went, there was no mat tube for the last one. But if there was, I'm sure that would be the other thing that's probably the number one thing that people are after is the mat tube.
Yeah, I think it's nice.
Yeah, it I mean, I speak from experience. Like I have a backpack from them and everything, and that thing is so high quality. It's a really really nice backpack, honestly. And I can only imagine that mat tubes, just as good as like their deck boxes and all the other stuff they've made. So, but yeah, that aside, we've said our piece on that, and I think we're gonna start wrapping up the show here. Is there anything else you guys wanna talk about real quick, or you wanna touch base on, or are we just good to sign off?
One more thing, I think the TCG player promo should just be for Grand Archive stuff, not any average, like not anyone on the site getting it.
Yeah, I agree there.
It's like that feels a little
Scummy.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, because they never did that one. Well, I mean, I can't say that they never did because even when they did the -1 Universes Godzilla promo thing, instead of making it just for Universes, it was anytime you spent over, I think it was like $90 or whatever, they gave it to you. So I mean, that's how they've just done all their promos. In all honesty.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just like it just feels like I guess as a person who's like who just bought like Digimon or One Piece, like what the fuck is this? And then like I would hope that they put it online to sell, but part of me thinks they'll just like throw it away, and it's like they're only doing like 4,500 of them, so it's like
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like the only people that are going to be spending $100 on TCG players specifically today is either A, Grand Archive players, B, players that are building a brand new deck in either Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or Magic the Gathering, or possibly Universes and Gundam, because Gundam is super high up in price. But outside of those, like most people aren't going to hit that $100 cap.
no, that is a fair point. That is a fair point. I guess I've been spending a lot of money on Grand Archive every time I've tried to build either a new deck or get cards. So I've been like spending $100. But yeah, I placed my order. I'm getting my 2 new shiny Hector CSRs. A call out a public notice for Cory. Send any Neo CSRs my way, or let me know because I am on the hunt. I need
his Discord tag is Mumbles, It's got a picture of a guy with a beard. So
Yeah, he's seeing incomprehensible horrors. It's amazing. Yeah, that's really what it's from. Yeah, yeah.
Cory
So
Cory wants to make Neo's like good. So send
I want to make Neo shiny worse. So as I get my ass beat at a regional, I can at least say, at least my deck looks cooler than yours.
Well, I think on that note, I think we'll just call it a show here. So thank you guys for tuning in and checking out this episode of the Looking Glass podcast. And we will see you guys next week, same time, same place, same people, same everything. Different look apparently, because I'm hoping you guys enjoy the new aesthetic. I've worked really hard on it. So please let me know your thoughts and opinions and if you guys like it or not. So you won't hurt my feelings. But we will see you guys on the next episode. Until then, take care.